Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to the CWC Power Shot. So this is where we get your hump day going, middle of the day, middle of the week, 15 minutes, adrenaline injection, something new for you to look at and something new for you to think about. So I'm glad that you are here with me today. Today, we are going to talk about the 5 secrets that people who love their careers have. And you know the kind of people I'm talking about. They're the type that it doesn't matter what they do or where they are and what's going on around them, but they seem to always have it together. And they love their career and things always work out. And they're just these people, you're like, how do they do it? Well, there are 5 things that these people do that you want to make sure that you're doing too. And I want to share them with you today. One of the things that motivated me to have this conversation with you guys today is a lot of people are already saying, I want my money back on 2021. Like, I know we're not surprised, but we expected new year, maybe some new things to happen, some better things to happen. And guess what? It's just a replay so far. And so what I want you to think about is, how do you become that person that loves your career right now? And that way you don't have to wait. You don't have to say, well, if this happens, then I can have that. So how do we do this right now? And the first thing that people who love their careers, not just their job, the first thing that they do is they give themselves permission to do something that they're passionate about. So how many times have you been in a role or in an industry that you don't love? And you feel stuck. You feel like, I've got to stay here because this is the only place I have available to me. You don't think you have options, or I'm expected to do this, or I need to do this because I think this is the only way I'm going to be able to earn the income and have the lifestyle that I want. I mean, there's a million reasons why we keep ourselves planted in a place that doesn't serve us, and in a place that we don't have passion for, and in a place that we just don't love. And so the most important thing that people who love their careers do is they give themselves that permission and almost a mandate to say, you know what, I've got to really feel engaged with what I'm doing. I've got to care, and I've got to want to do the work that I'm doing. And so if you find that you are that person that's just stuck in a place that you don't love and you feel like there's all these reasons why, then take some time, figure out, how do you give yourself permission to do something different? Or maybe to take a different approach in the same environment. But either way, it's got to start with you knowing you're worthy and that this isn't a pipe dream. This is not a luxury item, right? So loving what you do and being passionate about what you do is critical, right? And it's what you want to make sure that you have a lot of. So the first thing you want to do to make sure that you're one of those people from now on is giving yourself that permission to be able to love what you do, and to be able to change and realize that whatever you think is holding you back, you're going to find a way around it, right? You'll find a way to be happy and still have the lifestyle. The second thing that people who really accelerate in their careers and love what they do is they put themselves in a perpetual growth mode, in a continuous learning mode. Because let's face it, if you are not learning, you're bored. And if you're not growing, you feel like you're not reaching your fullest potential. And if I asked you to think about it, when is the last time that you learned something completely new? Has it been a while? Has it been more than a month? 6 months? 6 years? What's it been for you? Type that in the chat window and let me know how long it's been since you've learned something brand new. Because when you're growing and you're learning and you're continuously figuring new things out, there's an energy that comes along with that. There's an air of excitement and uncertainty, and you make mistakes and you learn from them, and there's all these great stories that happen. And I know in my career, there were several times where I was in a role that I didn't love. I mean, it was okay. It didn't suck, but I wasn't like, yeah, I can't wait to do this again tomorrow, right? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you relate to that. And so the thing that I was able to anchor to make sure that I still had passion and loved what I did, even though the role was not the best, is I found ways to grow. I found ways to learn new things. I found ways to teach my team new things and to bring the organizations that I was working with to a new way of thinking. And so if you think that growth is somebody coming to you and saying, hey, why don't you do this and you have to go learn, that's one angle for growth. But there's many ways you can do this. If you are an expert in your field and you know that you've got this, then one way for you to grow is to help others grow or help your organization grow. And so think about, what are you in right now that you can grow in? Either increase your own knowledge, your team members' knowledge, or helping your company learn a new way of doing things. But when you're in that growth mode, things just happen and they become fun and stressful and all those other things, right? So just make sure that you stay in a continuous growth mode, because if you're not growing, you're taking a step back, right? So there is no such thing as stand still. The other thing that people who love their careers do is they surround themselves with smart people who energize them. Like, how many times are you stuck with that office knucklehead that just either can't get out of their own way, so you just want to just punch them in the face, or they're so political and they're just so negative and they're just, everything is wrong and nothing is right, and they just suck the life out of you. Like, how many times are you forced to work with those people? And while we can't make those people go away, we can limit the amount of time we spend with them and increase the amount of time that we surround ourselves with people who are smart, who are ambitious, and who energize you. And there's a lot of research and beliefs out there that you emulate the people who you spend the most time with, right? So think about, in work and in your personal life, who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with? And what are they about? Right? Are they ambitious? Are they always growing? Are they optimistic? Are they energetic? Are they fun? Are they happy? Or are they cranky and miserable and, they feel like a victim and nothing's ever right and they just can't get out of their own way. And so depending on where you are and who you're surrounding yourself with has a huge impact on overall career happiness. And that doesn't require a job change, doesn't require anything major. It just requires you to change who you're spending your time with and what you guys are focusing on together. The other secret to having a career that you love is to just say no. Say no to those dumb projects that I call the doormat projects that no one else wants to do. So you're like, okay, I guess I'll do that. Maybe that'll help me get promoted, or maybe that'll help me get recognized. But you've got those doormat projects that no one wants and you take them on. Say no to that, because that is soul crushing work. And if it was important and valuable, trust me, there'd be some focus on that, right? And people would put money, time, and effort into it. So say no to those doormat projects. Say no to corporate politics. When you get sucked into the chaos and into just the toxicity and just the games and all of that stuff, you have to work within it, but you don't have to live in it. And so don't get sucked into, what I like to call geriatric high school, right? You don't want to get sucked into those corporate politics, because that, again, it doesn't give you energy. It doesn't give you purpose. It doesn't bring you joy. And when you don't have those things, your career starts to suck, and you don't want that for yourself. The other thing I want you to say no to is working nights, weekends, and through your vacations. Right? We think that we're indispensable, or maybe the company's going through hard times and we want to be seen as working harder. Whatever the case may be, these things are doing 2 things that are working against you. One, they're taking the joy out of what you do. Because if you don't step away from what you do and recharge and focus on having balance in your life, things aren't going to come together for you. The other thing it does is it completely crushes your executive presence. So any attempt that you have to be perceived as a leader, if you are working nights, weekends, and on your vacation, I am telling you, that is killing your opportunity to do that. It's killing your executive presence. So it's crushing your soul, and it's making people think that you're not a leader, that you're a doer. And so make sure that you say no, because taking things out of your life leaves room to bring things in that you're going to benefit from, that you're going to grow from, and that you're going to be happy with. So make sure that you get rid of all the stuff that you don't need. And then the very, very last thing that everybody who loves their career does is they take control of their career. Stop giving away your power. Stop waiting for your boss to finally make good on that promise for a promotion or for a raise. Stop waiting for the team to finally realize that you are a great leader, right? And you want to take control of those situations for yourself. You want to make sure that you are always the one that's in command and control, so you can pivot, you can change roles, you can level up, you can do all of these things on your terms. And when you finally feel like you've got that level of control, that you can really make those changes for yourself anytime, the empowerment that you have makes you know that you love your career because you are there because you want to be, not because you have to be. And I'll never forget a time in my career where I was a leader of a decent sized team. We probably had about 30 or 40 people. And it was a sales organization, and it was a high performing sales company. Like if you didn't deliver, you were out, right? There was very little tolerance for any of that craziness. And my team was doing great. We were crushing it. And there was a leadership change. And the leader and I did not get along. And that's an understatement. I mean, he was a total jerk. And we were just like, just scratching each other's eyes out pretty much every day. It was a cage match every day. And all of a sudden, one day, I just had it. And I went in there. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. We need to change how we're working together, that kind of stuff. And he's like, well, what do you, so, and then he's just like, well, you have to do this. And then he threatened to fire me. He's like, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to fire you. And he was very clear about that. And so it took me 2 days, 2 whole days, because I was mad. I was so steaming mad. And it took me 2 days, but in 2 days, I landed a better job for more money with more responsibility with a direct competitor because I didn't have a non-compete. And when I walked in 2 days later and put down my letter of resignation, that was a pinnacle moment of empowerment because he just couldn't believe that I could do that. He's like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, I'm out of here. If you threaten to fire me, you're out of your mind if you think I'm going to stay. Not to mention, I think you're a total jerk. So I'm out of here. And, and so when you're able to do that, when you're able to say, this doesn't suit me anymore, and I want more for myself, and you're able to take action to have those results, then you will always, always love your career because if you don't like it, change it. And you can, because you're not waiting on anybody else to help you out or get you what you want. And so to recap those 5 attributes that people who love their careers have, they give themselves permission to do something that they're not supposed to want to do, right? That they know they're going to love. They put themselves in a continuous growth mode. They surround themselves with smart people that energize them. They say no to all the noise that's not serving them and moving their career forward to make room for things that will. And then ultimately, they take complete control of their career. So they can pivot, level up, change industries, whatever you want to do on your terms. And that is the ultimate ability to say, yep, I am always, always, always going to love my career and not just the job that I'm in at the moment. And I want that for you. And so for those of you who know about the Career Winners Circle, you know that we have got an amazing program where enrollment is ending this week. And so we've got something called the Career Accelerator Program, and it takes you through a 12-week program for you to become the CEO of your career forever. And so you can always be in command and control. You can always make those changes that you need, and you don't have to worry about external factors slowing you down or putting you in a bad spot, which is even worse. And so if those are the types of things that you want for yourself, come on in and join us in the Career Winners Circle. You'll see the link in the post for this YouTube video. So check it out. And if you need any help or have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to have a conversation. But meanwhile, it's not a mystery. People who love their careers have a formula, and now you do too. And so I want you to go use this and make it a great day. I'll talk to you soon, and thanks for watching.